Module 5, Practical Guide for USAID Staff Integrating CIS for HSS. This final module equips you with practical tools guidance. At the end of the module, you'll be able to provide guidance to assess CIS opportunities and work cross-sectorally within a specific geographic or operating context. For early practical guidance on integrating climate and health services, here are several crucial requirements. Data sharing. Breaking down silos and enabling open access to climate and health data is essential. This requires thoughtful collaboration across multiple stakeholders to align interests and ensure data is accessible to those who need it. Interoperability. Data systems must be able to talk to each other for meaningful integration. This calls for multilateral agreements on data standards, formats, and sharing protocols. Accountability. Clear roles, responsibilities, and coordinating mechanisms are vital to keep CIS efforts focused and responsive to evolving needs. Governance structures. These structures ensure decision-making is transparent, involves all relevant sectors, and actively engages stakeholders. Fair governance builds trust, manages potential power imbalances, and fosters inclusive, resilient solutions. Developing effective climate information tools for the health sector requires a nuanced approach that builds on best practices. This framework outlines 7 good practice principles to help health, climate, and other stakeholders understand, adapt, and mitigate climate impacts on health through agile and integrated science services. The practices outlined here are iterative and mutually reinforcing. Co-develop fit-for-purpose solutions that respond to context-specific decision needs and provide tailored, relevant, and actionable intelligence. Respond to existing capacity, readiness, and expectations to build incremental capacity, enabling environments and interventions appropriate to existing skills and feasibility. Integrate expertise and resources for co-production of products, services, and systems to build capacity, enabling environment and inclusive ownership. Harness transdisciplinary research and integrated approaches to capture and harmonize information across sectors, timescales, and systems. Ensure seamless connection between research and operations to strengthen operational capacity to anticipate and respond to imminent and future climate hazards. Use evidence-based and value-based practices to build trust between actors and ensure impactful, inclusive, ethical, equitable approaches. Encourage effective communication and use of common language, integrating innovative methods to overcome transdisciplinary barriers and scale up awareness. This reference guide provides a framework to help you determine if and how to integrate climate information services into your health system strengthening programs. Let's walk through the key considerations. Step 1. The problem. Are you facing climate impacts in your health programming? Consider if there are changes in disease patterns, health system disruptions, or emerging climate-related health threats. Step 2. Access capacity. Do you have the technical capacity to integrate CIS? Do you have climate experts, data scientists, and the ability to conduct vulnerable assessments? If not, can you build these skills or partner with organizations that do? Step 3. Identify impacts. What are the specific climate impacts on your health programs? Are they direct, like extreme weather-damaging infrastructure, or indirect, like temperature on the prevalence of malaria? Step 4. Review available data. Are existing CIS and health surveillance data accessible and used? Identify what's currently available. What global, regional, and local CIS resources can be leveraged? Start by reviewing the types of data and tools we've discussed throughout these learning modules. Step 5. Assess health systems. Are supply chains and logistics prepared for climate challenges? Can you meet changing needs under increased heat, potential flooding, etc.? Do communities meaningfully practice in decision-making around climate resilience? Local knowledge and buy-in are crucial for sustainable solutions. Step 6. Consider cost and flexibility. Have you factored in the cost of adapting to climate change? This includes CIS implementation, potential infrastructure changes, and more. Are your financial systems flexible enough to adapt to climate-driven disruptions? Can you reallocate funds or respond quickly to events outside of your routine budgeting cycles? Important note, this reference guide is a starting point. Adapting your health systems to climate change is an ongoing process. These questions help you assess your current readiness and plan your next steps toward building resilience. You may find these additional resources helpful in complementing the learning materials provided here. These include USAID strategy guidelines and information on the more technical aspects of CIS for HSS. You should now have a core understanding of how climate variability and change affect both health outcomes and systems. You should be able to explain how CIS can reduce vulnerabilities and strengthen health systems by understanding and better managing climate risks. You should be more aware of and able to assess the suitability of different CIS resources for specific health system strengthening applications. You should have an understanding of traditional barriers and critical components to advancing successful partnerships between climate and health service stakeholders. You should be able to provide guidance to assess CIS opportunities and work cross-sectorally within your geographic or operating context. Congratulations! You have completed the training modules on climate information services for health system strengthening. Thank you for taking part in this training.